I'm Raymond Douglas, and welcome to my man cave. Well, rather tool shed, or my special place of reflection. The Inside Out Perspective takes a look at life's challenges and its effects and asks one simple question: what race are you running? Good morning and welcome to... No, hold on. For those of you who don't know, this is a one-man show. So I set up the camera, get the angles right, do the sound check and all the rest of it. And this morning I was thinking of that movie with Robin Williams of Good Morning Vietnam. And I was wondering, should I try and change the introduction to Good morning and welcome to another episode of the Inside Out Perspective. I'd love to hear your comments on that. But anyway, a little bit of banter. In light of this whole dilemma which is coming to the forefront of the preservation of the Quran, I was thinking and was referring to, in a discussion with a couple of Muslims I have locally, the internal evidence, is the Quran really preserved? And I want to have a look at a couple of things from the actual Quran itself. Let's forget about which translations or whichever. Let's just have a look and accept for a moment that the Quran is perfectly preserved as we have it today. And my first point of reference was to Surah 345, because 345 tells us that Allah is going to give His word, and the word is going to be called Jesus Christ, the Messiah, the Son of Mary, and He's going to be pure. In other words, He's sinless. It is the only sinless prophet mentioned in the Quran. Now, that's not a debatable fact. That everyone accepts that. And then it brought me to the attention of, my mind went down the road and I thought of the surah which tells us that Allah has perfected His religion. This is a perfect religion, being Islam. So if we take it from that context, and we take it from the context of the Quran, here we have a perfect revelation, and it's a perfected religion. But then I had a look at Surah 355, because Surah 355 says that Allah's going to raise Jesus up to Himself, and that His followers are going to be uppermost. Or some translation go, His followers are going to be superior until the day of resurrection. That's the end of the world. Now, to me that's a bit confusing, because if you've got the perfect religion of Islam, which claims it's going to dominate the world, how come is Christianity going to be the uppermost or the superior faith at the day of resurrection? In other words, it's telling me, or my simple understanding of just having a look at that, the Islamic faith is not perfect. So it creates a conflict within the Quran, or contradictions within the Quran. It's a catch-22 scenario for any of the Muslims out there. Because on the one hand, you've got the perfect religion devised by Allah, but yet Christianity is going to be superior to the Islamic faith. So which one is the correct faith? And if I was a Muslim, I would be troubled with that. So we then need to refer back to the Quran to say, how can we make sure that this is right? So in Surah 62 verse 2, it makes it very clear that all the previous prophets were in error. Hold on. But we've just seen in that Jesus was sinless. So if a sinless person is in error, surely he sinned. Another dilemma or contradiction, because you can't be sinless and in error, because if you're in error you must have sinned or done something wrong. So there's another conflict. So what is it? But the Quran again gives us the answer. In Surah 1094, it gives us the answer. If you are in doubt, go and ask the Christians and Jews, because they were given the truth. And listen to them. What? So if you're in doubt about the revelation which Muhammad's giving you, go and talk to the Christians and Jews, because they've got the truth. And there again, that now supports that Christianity is going to be the superior faith. So the question is, why are you following Islam if Christianity is going to be the superior faith? I'm not too sure what your comments are going to be, or how the Muslims are going to resolve this. But either way, it is a double-edged sword. Because if Islam is the perfect religion, well then Surah 355 is in error. And therefore, the Quran can't be perfect. What? You can't say that Islam is the perfect religion and then say in another verse that Christianity is going to be superior to Islam. So that must be a false claim. So therefore it isn't perfectly preserved, or the word of Allah. And then there again, you can't say, well, if you're in doubt, go and ask the Christians and Jews, because they got the truth. How can it be the truth if you've just said, if your God has just told you that they were all in error? And I'm just thankful that the Christian faith is based on the historical evidence of Jesus Christ's death and resurrection. Not only that, Jesus made very sure that he's going to leave us with an advocate to help us through any kind of dilemma which we may have. And that's the Holy Spirit. And we see that in John. But if we take this a step further, another question I need to ask with relation to the revelation of the Quran, what is the covenant given to Muhammad? Because remember, the Islamic faith is based on the Abrahamic faith, and the Abrahamic faith through each prophet was given a new covenant or a different covenant, and Jesus Christ was given the covenant, and that covenant is the shedding of his blood as the final sacrifice for humanity's sins. If that's the final covenant, how can we now have a new revelation with no covenant? And I asked this to a Muslim friend one day when I was visiting the mosque. And I said, what is the fundamental basis of Islam? If I take John 3:16, that Jesus Christ is the only begotten Son and died for my sins, what would your go-to verse be in the Quran? And he said Surah 112. And Surah 112 says there is only one God, which begets not and doesn't have children, etc., etc., and you only got to have one God. What? But that's what Exodus says. That's what the Ten Commandments said. Worship only one God. So that's not a new covenant. Can you understand the internal dilemma or contradictions which the Quran offers the Muslim? So what is your choice today? What race are you going to run? Are you going to follow the confusion of the Quran? Or are you going to go find something that offers you security in your salvation? I look forward to your comments. And remember, the big question always is, what race are you running?